Tuesday, January 17th. Okay, so we're just going to go straight down to the factoring review. Did you guys cover factoring last semester? All right, so we got these 12 factoring problems, okay? All right, let's start with number one. Let's go in order. What's the first thing we always do? I'm tired, I'm going to sit down. What's the first thing we always do? Yeah, is there a GCF here? No, I don't see one. Okay, what am I thinking next then? I can't take out a GCF. What do I try? What do I want to try? Grouping. Yeah, so there's 4 terms here. Whenever you see a factoring problem with 4 terms, I want you to think grouping, okay? How does grouping work? Yeah, so we pair off the first 2. Then we're going to pair off the second 2. Now, when I pair off the second 2, I have to do something. Anyone remember what that thing is? Yeah. So I've got to change this second sign here to a plus, okay? So Anna's right. She hit the nail on the head. When there's a minus sign in the middle, only when there's a minus sign, when I pair off that 3rd and 4th term, I got to flip this sign right here, okay? It's called factoring out a negative, okay? Now, now we're going to factor just within our blue and our red parentheses. What can I pull out of the blue? X squared, yep. Pull out an x squared. All right, what can I pull out of the red? 4, yeah. Cool stuff. All right, and then once you see that there's this matching set of parentheses in both terms, you're ready to finish the problem. What's my final answer? Yeah. Yep. So you're going to have 2 sets of parentheses. One is just going to be like this matching set right here. You're just going to copy that down. Okay. And then in here is going to go the 2 coefficients, the 2 things that were next to the matching parentheses. So x squared is going to go in here, and then I'm going to have a minus 4 in there. Okay. Yes. Good job. Yep, Denai I was about to try to trick you guys. I'm not done. Okay, I was going to say, am I done? But Denai actually caught it too early. What can I keep doing, Denai?
Simplifying it.
Yeah.
So it'd be like x squared plus 4, x plus 4, x minus 4.
Yeah, so there's a difference of squares right there. So I'm not done factoring. You guys always have to check at the end for more GCFs, and you always got to check for difference of squares. A lot of us forgot to do that on the final, so that's my final answer right there. Okay. Good stuff. Easy money. This class is kind of a squad. It's like 2017 Golden State Warriors or something. Got Kevin Durant. Once they got Kevin Durant. Anyway, number 2. What's going on here? Do I have a GCF? No, there's no GCF. Oh no. So it's a trinomial. What do I notice that makes me sad? It's a square. No. 7. 7 is brutal. Because there's a 7 there, we have to do what with that first and that last number? Is that? Yeah, we just got to write down their factors. So 7 times 1, that's the only, 7's prime, so that's all we can do. 40, we got 1 times 40. 2 times 20, 4 times 10, 5 times 8, I think that's it. Okay, good stuff. All right, let's set up what I like to call my shell for these types of problems. What do I do? So I'm just going to 2 pairs of parentheses, right? Okay, I'm going to put an X at the beginning. I'm going to leave a little bit of space, right? Because I'm going to end up putting an orange number here, one of my orange numbers in front, and I'm going to end up putting one of my blue numbers there in the back. Okay? What are my signs going to be that are inside my parentheses? How do I know?
One positive and one negative.
Yep, so I look at that second sign right here. If it's a minus, they have to be different. So one's going to be a plus, one's going to be a minus. Okay? All right, now I got to pick a pair here. I got to pick a pair of orange numbers and a pair of blue numbers. Okay, how do I determine which pairs I'm going to pick? So remember, how do we check our answer when we're done with a factoring problem? We FOIL, right? So when I multiply the outer numbers together and then multiply the inner numbers together, in this case, when I take the difference of those two products, it has to be 51, okay? We have different signs inside of our parentheses, so think different, different. Since the signs are different, the difference between the outer and inner products has to be 51. I'm going for that number in the middle, okay? So what works here? If I try, okay, so if I do 7 times 8, that's 56. 1 times 5 is 5. 56 minus 5 is 51, right? So those are the two pairs that we want. Okay, I'm going to circle them in pink. All right, so that outer, when I multiply those outer numbers together, I'm going to get 56. When I multiply those inner numbers together, I'm going to get 5. Okay? All right, what do I want to have left over in the middle? Minus 51, right? So do I want the 56 or the 5 to be negative? The 56. I want the 56 to be negative. Okay? So what that means is I'm going to take those two outer numbers, that 7 and that 8. Okay, they need to multiply to negative 56. So I need to make sure that 8 is next to the minus sign over here. And then the 7 needs to go in that other outer spot so it can get multiplied with my 8. And then there's just one spot left for that other orange number. And then one spot left for that other blue number. How are we feeling about that? And that's it. There's no more difference of squares. There's no common factors I can pull out. I'm done. That's it. That's the end. Are we feeling okay? All right. So just try to get the cobwebs. It's been like a month since we had class, which is crazy. So those are annoying, but they're doable, right? They're doable. I have nothing else to say about that problem. So, yeah. Let's do number 3. Number 3. Yes? You may. Any GCFs? I do not spy any GCFs. I do not. Okay, so we got to do what? Yeah, we got to write down all the factors, which stinks. We have to do it again. All right, all the factors of 6. 1 times 6, 2 times 3. Let's write down all the factors of the blue number. 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5. All right. All right, let's set up our parentheses. All right, so it's just 2 short pairs of parentheses. There's an X, right? We're going to put 2 orange numbers at the front of those pairs of parentheses. We're going to put 2 blue numbers in the back. What are my signs going to be here? How do I know? Both positive, right? Okay. So when that second sign in my original problem is a plus, they have to be the same, and they're going to be the same as that first sign. Okay? All right? Think same sum. So what I mean by that, since both parentheses have the same symbol in the middle, they both have a plus, I want the sum of my outer and inner products to be 23. Okay? I want their sum to be 23. That number in the middle, that's that magic number I'm going for, okay? So let's think about this. 1 times 20 is 20. 6 times 1 is 1. 6 plus 20 is 26, which is not equal to 23. That's not going to work. All right? That's not going to work. That doesn't work either. Let's try the second pair of oranges. That doesn't work. Doesn't work. 10 and 12. 10 and 12. That doesn't work either, does it? What do I do when I go through all of my possible combinations and nothing works? I got to flip just the blue side, just the blue side. So I'm going to write this as 20 times 1, 10 times 2, and 5 times 4, and then erase. I like to erase what I had. Okay? So what works now? I think it's that last pair, right? Yeah, the last pair works, okay? So if I circle the last pair, if I multiply the outer numbers together, that 2 and that 4, I'm going to get 8. If I multiply the inner numbers together, that 3 and that 5, I get 15. And the sum of 15 and 8 is 23. 23, okay? My magic number, okay? So for these, it doesn't matter as much, like where you put everything. You just need to make sure the orange numbers go in the orange spaces. So if I put that 2 there, all right, I can put the 3 here. And then you just need to make sure that the other outer blue number goes in the other outer spot. So what do I need to put here, basically? 4. I need to put a 4 there. And then a 5 goes here, okay? We can always FOIL back out to check, but this is the correct answer. We can always FOIL back out, but this is the correct answer. No difference of squares left. No more GCFs. Okay, that's it. Fun times. Time flies when you're having fun. All right? You guys feel okay about that? A bit of factoring review. Never goes away. Never goes away. All right. Number 4, we got a trinomial with an x to the 4th there. Wow. What do we do here? We don't know. We don't know how to factor x to the 4th. What do we do? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Precisely. So we don't know how to factor an x to the 4th, but we do know how to factor like a u squared, right? So what mathematicians like to do is they like to change hard problems into problems that they already know how to do. Okay? So we're going to do a u sub. We invent a variable called u. We set it equal to the variable in the middle here. So u is going to be equal to x squared. What's u squared equal to then? X to the 4th. Yep, exactly. So let's sub those in, okay? So instead of an x to the 4th here, I'm going to write u squared. Instead of an x squared in the middle, I'm going to write minus u and then minus 20, okay? Do we know how to factor this? Yes, we do, okay? So let's set up my parentheses. This should be a pretty straightforward one. U goes in front. What are my signs? Plus and minus. They're going to be opposite because that second sign is a minus. All right? Think different signs. We want the difference. So 2 factors of 20 whose difference is 1. 5 and 4. Okay, does the 5 go here or here? Yeah, so the 5, right? 5 is bigger than 4. I want there to be a minus left over. I put the bigger factor next to the minus because I want there to be a minus left over, okay? What's my last step then? Don't forget, you have to put something back in. We don't want any u's in our answer, so we're going to sub that x squared back in. Okay. There you go. All right. Can we factor x squared plus 4 any further? No, we can't. It's only if it were x squared minus 4 we could. It's only difference of squares. Sum of squares cannot be factored until you are a senior in college and are a math major. But for you guys, it can't be factored. All right, so that's it. That's that's it for that problem. How are you feeling? Feeling okay? Not bad? Not bad? Okay. Good. All right, can I do number 5? Number 5. Same thing, right? Same thing. I got a trinomial with an x to the 4th. I got to change it to something I do know how to do, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to invent a variable called u, and I'm going to set it equal to just that variable in the middle, so x squared. Then u squared equals x to the 4th. So I have u squared minus 8u minus 9. Okay? I should know how to factor that, right? It's a trinomial. What did I forget to do in this problem? Did I forget GCF? Dang. There is no GCF, but I forgot to check for it. I'm sorry, guys. I failed you. I failed you. All right, so I'm going to put a U at the beginning of each one. What are my signs? Yeah, they're opposites. Opposite signs. Okay? So think different signs. Okay? That means we want 2 factors of 9 whose difference is 8. What's that? 9 and 1. 9 and 1, okay? And we want there to be a negative 8 left over in the middle, so where do I put the 9? Next to the minus. So 9 and 1. Ooh, I don't want any u's in my answer, so what do I do? Write as x squared plus 1 and x squared minus 9. Am I done?
Oh no, that's
See the x squared minus 9? Yep, I can keep going. That x squared minus 9, that factors the x plus 3 times x minus 3. All right, that's it. Any questions on that one? All right, so number 6. Let's try number 6 on our own, since we just did 2 of these. Let's try that on our own while I run to the water fountain and get some more. Try that here real quick. I'm dehydrated. Got it. T-Man. Here we go. All right, x to the 4th minus 10x squared. What is it? Plus 16. Here we go. T-Man, it's all you. On the spot. See if you can perform under pressure.
Is that a start?
All right, anyone want to give him a hint? You got to do a U sub. My Apple Pencil's not working. You got to do a U sub. I would write it on the board, but my Apple Pencil is not working. Okay. All right, so I do a U sub.
Sub in the U.
Sub in the U. What's your U equal to?
X.
Well, it's whatever variable's in the middle. So it's U equals x squared. So write U equals x squared.
Right here.
Just write U equals x squared, and then x to the 4th equals what?
And then what?
U equals x squared, and then what's U squared equal to?
X to the 4th.
X to the fourth. Yep, so sub those in, okay? So rewrite the problem. Instead of x to the fourth and x squared, you're going to write what?
U to the second.
Yep. It's going to be u squared
Minus 10U.
minus 10u plus 16. There you go. Can you factor that?
Yeah.
All right. So he's going to now he's got it. He's got it turned back into a regular algebra 1 problem. Now he's going to factor it. Okay, so I'll do it. I'll follow along the board. Okay, now he's going to factor it. There you go. What'd you factor it to?
U minus 8 and U minus 2.
Nice, nice. Okay. Now what do you got to do? You don't want any u's in your answer, so what do you have to do?
Switch it with X.
Switch it back to x, yep. What was u equal to? U was not equal to x. You can't just, what was u equal to?
X squared.
X squared, yeah. There you go. Are you done? Can you do any more difference of squares or GCFs? No, yeah. Good job. Round of applause. There we go. All right, you're good.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Okay, number 7. Number 7, what's my first step every time? GCF. Is there a GCF here?
Yeah.
All right, so I can pull out a 3. Let's pull out a 3. There you go. So we pulled out a 3. Okay. Now we got to factor just the stuff in parentheses. It's just like these other problems we've been doing. Okay. So let's make a u sub. Okay. There's an x to the fourth in there. So let's make a u sub so we can make it into something squared. So u equals x squared. Then u squared equals x to the fourth. Okay. All right. 3 times u squared minus 6u plus 8. Okay. Don't forget to keep pulling this 3 down. A lot of people forgot to keep pulling the 3 down and they got points off. Okay, it's half a point off when you do that. Okay. Okay, then it's 3. That factors to what? U. What are my signs? They're both minus. Okay, so I'm factoring it. So I want 2 factors. The signs here inside my parentheses are the same. Think same sum, okay? So I want 2 factors of 8 whose sum is 6. What's that? 2 and 4. Good job. Yep. And then I don't want any u's in my answer. So instead of a u, I'm just going to sub back in that x squared. Okay. Am I done? Nah. Yep. So there's an x squared minus 4 there, right? That's a difference of squares. Got to make sure we factor it, okay? And that's my final answer right here. All right, u sub. Got to substitute u, all right? All right, just like, this is just like that, my promposal that was in Almost Friday the Hill. And yeah. Referring to this concept of substituting in u. What time does this class get out? Oh, shoot. Yeah. We had that's weird. We had time in the other class to go over the final and then do everything. Okay, let's do number 10 real quick because we need to do that. Okay? Number 10, what kind of problem is this? Sum of cubes, right? When it's a sum or difference of cubes, what do we do? What's the shell for that? Yeah, there's a short parentheses and then a long parentheses, okay? Let's fill in my signs then. How do I fill in my signs? Use SOAP, yep. So my original sign they get up here is plus. So I'm going to be same as the original one, then the opposite of what's given, and then the third one's always a plus, okay? What do I put in this first little parentheses? 4x. That's the cube root of that first term, okay? Let me do that in blue, lighter blue actually. Color code these. What do I put in the second spot there? The cube root of the second one. Yeah, that's 3. What do I put here? I do the blue one squared. I do the blue root squared. So 16x squared. Make sure you square the whole thing. What goes in the back? maybe the red root squared. Okay? And then what goes in the middle? You just multiply the two roots together. So I'll do it in purple because blue and red make purple. Okay? That's it. I'm done. Right? There's no more difference of squares or anything like that, okay? 11's the same deal, but you have to do what first? You have to make sure you do what first? Pull out a GCF of 3. Okay? All right. If we have 3 minutes, let me do number 9 real quick. What kind of problem is number 9? So I can do a U sub here. Do I need to do one? No, right? There's only 2 terms, so you don't have to do a U sub. What kind of problem is this? Difference of squares, right? But x to the 4th, that's not x squared. How do I know x to the 4th is a perfect square? So anytime the exponent is even, that term is a perfect square, okay? So what's the square? So for difference of squares, I do 2 parentheses. One gets a plus, one gets a minus. What goes in the first spot? Yeah, so the square root of that first term goes in the first spot. What goes in the second one? The square root of the second one. Okay, that's it for that one. Okay. For 8, same deal, right? It's going to be x squared minus 4, x squared plus 4. You just have to make sure here you do what? I do the first step, and you got to make sure you keep going, okay? Sometimes you'll come across a problem, and you'll just have to do difference of squares multiple times. Okay? Is it really 45? Interesting. Oh, we have math on Friday. Please don't pass out. You missed it last semester. We have 4 people pass out. 17 to 24. That is? Oh, really? That's scary. I guess it does go till 45. Okay, lecture B is going to go on YouTube. I can try to get through one more. I'll just rush through these last 2. So I factor out a GCF in this last one. Okay, pull that 3 down and then set up your shell. Okay, the signs are so I start with a minus right here. I start with a minus, so the signs are going to be the same. So minus, opposite of that, and then always positive. Cube root of 8x cubed is 2x. Cube root of 27 is 3. The blue root squared is 4x squared. Make sure you square the whole root and not just the variable. So you got to square the constant as well. Red root squared is 9. The 2 roots multiplied together is 6x. I'm done. Okay, and then this one is a grouping. So there's no GCF. Okay, let's pair together the first 2. When I pair together the second 2, do I change this sign right here or no? No, I don't do it here because there's a plus in there. Okay, goodbye. Good work today.
Mr. Roscoe?
Yeah.